Hello, welcome back to my channel, Kissed by Starlight. Thank you for being here. So I was guided to use these three decks today for our reading. What would the angels like you to know today? And interestingly, somebody just started clearing up their lawn and the leaves outside. There's quite a lot of noise, so I do apologise if you can hear that. I hope it doesn't spoil the reading. Also, I was guided to burn some cedar and some resin, some spruce resin, which is for cleansing and clearing. And it just helped me with all of those things happening. At the beginning of the reading, the loud crackling coming from that and outside, that there's a lot of clearing going on at the moment. There's a lot of clearing coming through for everybody, a lot of purging. And I just like to bring my feathers to just cleanse the space. And I invite you to remember to also cleanse and clear your space, your spaces. There's a lot of energy that we're all experiencing at this time, and a lot of transformation. And interestingly, because the cards were all face down, but this card showed itself, the card of transformation, number 40, Rumi of Persia. And I think I'd actually like to start the reading by reading out from the guidebook the message of transformation from Rumi. Rumi was the most incredible poet. I'm sure you've heard of him. If not, do look up his work. There's some incredible poems that came forth from him. So it describes sitting on a beautiful carpet inside a large room in the 13th century in Anatolia in the Middle East to connect with the poet and mystic Rumi. Dancing before us with the moonlight shining through the window are the majestic whirling dervishes. They seem to be in a kind of ecstatic trance, wide skirts emphasizing their flow as they twirl around and around. Rumi explains that he believes that music, poetry and dance can be a path to touching the divine. And they really are a testament to that. And his connection with spirit. It goes on to say he talks about the paths of spiritual ascent in which the seeker symbolically and powerfully transforms away from the ego and turns towards truth and love. People have continued to cherish his words about transformation. And then it just goes on to say, transformation is a dramatic and complete change in appearance or a shift in perception of yourself. It occurs when you have the faith to step out of the confines of your ordinary reality. When you alter the normal way you view yourself, you will expand into a greater awareness of your place in the universe. Right now, you are ready to reach into the invisible yet very real realm of spirit. Even though you can see what's ahead, beneath the surface of life, powerful forces are supporting you on the journey ahead. Trust the process and have faith in yourself. Use dance, poetry and music to reach the Creator and step into your transformation. Additionally, have patience that an amazing plan is unfolding, even if it doesn't always seem like it. This card indicates that enlightenment is ahead. The key words for this transformation to unfold are trust and faith. And how incredible is that? Really, really beautiful. And I have to say to you that at times I was fighting to be heard above the noise outside. And, you know, it's kind of like a symbolism of when we're trying very hard to hold our faith, and circumstances and situations are actually threatening to overpower our voice or overpower our reason or our belief in the divine or in a divine plan unfolding. And Yet when we continue with determination and faith, as I did, I kept talking, even though it was becoming difficult for me to speak above it. When we hold our faith and our trust and our resolve to continue, despite whatever is showing us that it wants to throw us off course, it wants to veer us off course, or it wants to distract us from the road ahead, we can be victorious. You know, I don't know if you've noticed, but as soon as I finished speaking, the noise has stopped. I reached the end of the words, which, by the way, they were not my words. They were from Denise Lynn and this beautiful oracle deck, her words about the card transformation. But I reached the end. And there was silence. There was silence outside. So it's almost like there's all this clearing and purging that's needing to happen to pave the way for this incredible clarity, this voice of truth that wants to come through. And perhaps that's yours. Perhaps that's your intuition. Perhaps that's your voice, literally, your reasoning, your knowing, your belief in the next chapter, I'm being told, your belief in the chapter that is coming, that is upcoming. And I think we're clearing off a lot of the last vestiges of whatever's been going on this year, whatever, you know, soul contracts, karmic lessons or challenges have needed to be completed, whatever situations have been unfolding for the highest good that have asked us to come into our greatest transformation, into our greatest power, and into our greatest sense of purpose. And all of those things combined allow us to move forwards with the absolute knowing that this change is a blessed and beautiful force that comes through our life. It steps on the old, it clears away whatever no longer needs to be there, whatever is time to leave. And if you've ever seen these whirling dervishes, they are, you know, it's a really incredible spectacle, beautiful to see. And I could almost absolutely feel the movement of that as I was speaking. There was this sense of whirling round and round and round, and yet they're not dizzy. You know, it's an immovable force, it's an unstoppable force that they continue in this pattern somehow, keeping their balance, keeping their cool, keeping their beauty of the synchronicity of that dance. So all of that speaks to whatever's going on in your life, whatever is being cleared, whatever path is being cleared for you, whatever transformation is undergoing. It's for the higher picture. It's for a higher vision to come into being. And look at this beautiful vision, this sense of the beautiful unknown outside. The sky is such a deep blue, a deep, beautiful blue. It reminds me of Archangel Michael. It reminds me of cords being cut. It reminds me of the beauty of truth, of absolute clarity, of voice, of third eye, of seeing, of knowing, of trusting. And that's what we're asked to do as this force clears whatever needs to be cleared in the light, and it brings forward the new. We step into that next chapter, which is unfolding. Even though I feel like that's a reading in itself, I'm going to just pull a couple of cards and just see if anything else would like to come through about that or about this next chapter that's unfolding for you at this time. And we've got the Keening Woman. And the Keening Woman is, again, it's a symbolism of all that's being cleared, of all that has threatened to overpower you, whatever has threatened to, you know, you see, it's almost, it's all, you know, it's brought you perhaps to your knees. It's brought you to a place of absolute humbleness, or absolute surrender, or absolute chaos, you know, where you're kind of on your knees saying, please let this stop, or please, you know, show me the light, show me what needs to come, show me what is coming, so that I can have faith to continue. But you're asked to continue that faith even without the seeing of what is coming, and even without the knowing of what will be cleared. You're asked to walk forwards on that path. You know, you are being protected, you are being held in the beautiful vast cosmos, in the beautiful womb of creation, in the beautiful knowing of all that is and all that would like to come through. And I feel like I just want to cover that cover that now. We don't need to see that anymore. We're protected. You know, we're still, can you see the echo of the full moon? So perhaps there's going to be a bit more seeing of this transformation and how this is playing out around the full moon. At the time of doing this reading, we're at the new moon, so we have a couple of weeks until the full moon comes into view again, and reaches that cycle again, that cycle of clearing. So perhaps this now is the last cycle of cleansing and clearing this month, the end of this month, moving into December at the time of this reading, January, the new year. Of course, that's not our natural new year, but that is the man-made new year. Perhaps that's when things are going to start to become a little bit clearer and be shown to us a little bit more clarity on what's coming ahead. But you're asked to keep going, just like I was asked to keep going and keep speaking above that noise that threatened to overpower my voice. I was asked to keep going, and as soon as I kept going, listen now, complete silence, it's gone, it's finished, it's done. It didn't overpower, it cannot destroy you. Your spirit, your soul is there. It knows what it needs to do. It's coming to do what it needs to do, and you're asked to keep walking. Yes, there may be the need for some flexibility. There may be the need for maybe things not being exactly the way that you've been wanting them to show themselves, or needing them to show themselves, or asking them to show themselves. Perhaps the path is going to look slightly different from the one you were expecting, but nevertheless it's a path to miracles, to beauty, to the new. And I'm hearing bridge over troubled water. You're being guided to safety, whatever this is, whatever this situation has been for you, whatever has been playing out in your world, and it will be different for everybody. You're now being given the bridge. You're now being given the freedom to look 3 times now, 3 times the full moon. So again, the full moon is significant in this. Perhaps there is still a little bit more clearing. Perhaps you're still clearing the vestiges of fear, of whatever has been playing out for you, that you think are around the corner, but actually you're being led to a whole world of possibilities. You're actually being nurtured, you're being guided to safety, you're being lifted to safety. There is this sense of being taken into the new, and yet we have to traverse the spiral. We have to allow events to unfold for the highest good. We have to allow the energies to clear. We have to allow space and be flexible and open to solutions and for things to play out for the highest good of all. And that, again, you know, that we kind of have to surrender a little bit, because we don't really know what that is going to look like necessarily. And with the moon symbolism, you know, there can be this sense of not being able to see, or not being told what's ahead, or not being shown what's ahead. Oh, funny. That's actually the card that comes with the deck. I'll just see if there's a message in there for you. With this deck, we come to you with everlasting love. We hope this serves you, expands you, and allows you to find your way back to your heart and yourself in the most whimsical, powerful way possible. Begin to step into your romantic feminine energy with the channelings of Aphrodite, goddess of the sea. So that's a message in itself. And the moon is, you know, like the divine feminine symbolism. It's that symbolism of coming into knowing, you know, softening. And look, we've got a bridge again. We've got another bridge. That's the second bridge. A bridge, portals are opening, confirmation. So I think that, you know, without really needing to pull any more cards, it's just confirming what we're being told. You know, whatever this is that you're moving out of, whatever is being cleared and purged and taken away from your life, it is absolutely going to make things better. There's absolutely an upgrade. We don't know what that looks like at first. We're still being shown the remains of fear, perhaps, and the not knowing, and the worrying or the wondering. But it's time now to just let that clear, to know that faith, hope and love are everlasting. They are everlasting, and they absolutely prevail. So beautiful ones, I hope this is helpful for you and healing. Thank you for being here. If any of this message resonated for you, please do consider liking, sharing and subscribing. It all helps me, and I really look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.